Danny with Show Up Management.
And Chris, your favorite trainer with a belt buckle.
There it is.
Today we're going to talk about 5 reasons your Instagram won't grow.
A lot of what I talk about in our classes and in general with my clients is how you can actually get that engagement and get your Instagram to grow from a followers perspective, a reach perspective, and then an engagement perspective. The number one thing across the board is that I see people not leveling up their content quality. And that they have a certain style of picture or video that they post. It's usually taken on their iPhone or their Android if that's your thing. And they record it, they film it, they quickly edit it, they upload it. Everything kind of looks the same. When you're first getting started on social media, that's fine. All you need is your phone, and I'm a big advocate of that. You don't need a ton of equipment. Whether it's YouTube you're starting, Instagram, Twitter, just get started, start producing content. But as you continue along sort of your social media journey, it's imperative that you actually put in the effort to level up your content quality and that you're not just doing the bare minimum. If your captions aren't great, meet with someone who you love their captions, they're a great writer, a friend of yours, a colleague, another influencer, and sit down and say, hey, how can I level up my content quality and my captions? The other side of that coin is that if your photos or your videos are not the best, hire a professional. Find someone who is, an amazing photographer, an amazing videographer, meet with them once a month and backlog high quality content.
We grew from 5,000 to 10,000. When we got up right around 5,000, I hired a guy to come in weekly. He does photos for us, and it's one of the things that I probably get the most compliments with currently about our what do you call it, style?
Like the content style.
The content style.
Curation. Yeah.
So there's the videography and all that stuff it's improved so much. So leveling up has been something that I've taken to heart, and we've seen our page grow. So we really appreciate that, and it's something that you definitely should do.
The second thing that I see, and this is incredibly common, especially in a culture where you constantly hear you need to engage with other people's content, is that you're not genuinely engaging with your internal and external network. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, the people who follow you, yes, you should respond to everyone's comments, but it doesn't mean just responding with like a heart or an emoji or just liking the comment. If somebody comments something that's valuable or interesting, or they tell you they like your photo, come up with a creative way and make that your challenge. Come up with a creative way to respond to them and to engage with them. Just saying, oh, this is cute, or I like this, especially on workouts, just being like, you look so good. That's not leveling up your captions, your responses. So find ways to respond to people that's unique and that's genuine, because that genuine engagement makes a huge difference. The other side of that is that yes, you should always engage with people who you don't follow and who don't follow you. That's a huge part of how you expand your network. But again, that engagement has to be genuine. So going on hashtag, personal trainer and commenting a bunch of emojis on a bunch of people's pictures is not really going to do it for you. Yes, it'll get you some followers potentially, but think of how different it would be as if you spent an hour a day combing through hashtag personal trainer, hashtag in-person training, and adding value to people's posts and saying, hey, here's 5 things that I do when I train a client, or I love that you mentioned this because that's something that I also do.
In our class in Los Angeles, Danny mentioned it'd be like, think of your followers like friends. Imagine if a friend were to walk by and like, hey, how's it going? And you just walk by them. So when someone comments, they're taking time out of their day to comment whatever, cool workout, nice shirt, or even if they tag someone else. Liking the comments great, but then putting some genuineness behind it. Hey, thank you. I always do the cowboy emoji, which you may not appreciate.
I've slowly picked up on that too. I saw myself doing that the other day, a little smiling cowboy.
Yeah, but I see so many trainers, people will comment 10, 15 comments and there's nothing back. So I now see that as like, it's people saying hi, great job, and you're not even giving an attaboy back to them. So make sure to comment back.
The third thing is that you don't have a clear message or direction. I need to be, as a consumer, motivated to follow you. And I talk about this constantly, that if you're posting content and it's cool content, maybe I'll follow you and maybe I'll like a couple things, but very rapidly I'll drop off. And that's when you see that sharp drop in engagement. The other side of that is that if I go to your page, I'll quickly scroll and say, oh, this looks cool, and then I'm not going to follow you and I'm going to move on because I don't know what you do. So if you can't answer the question, who am I and what do I do, from an Instagram perspective, not out in the world, I understand people are dynamic and broad, but Instagram, you almost want to be slightly more two-dimensional, where you can very clearly say, this is who I am, this is what I do. Trying to do a million things at once makes you look like you don't have a clear direction for your page.
But I see a lot with students that come to the class and they have 15, 20, 25,000 followers, and the photos are a lot of TNA.
Yep.
And it's, abs and cleavage and bikini pics, and they say that I'm a fitness professional. And I always just think from the person who wants to train with you, are you a model or are you a bang girl?
Bang energy, yeah.
Bang energy?
Yeah.
Bang girl sounds bad. But, what are you? Are you, so it's like there's so much ambiguity.
Right.
So if you're trying to grow in the fitness community at least, you should have workout videos, educational aspects, so people know that you are trying to educate people.
Number 4 is a weird one, but it's you avoid polarizing or controversial topics. I do not take this video and then go post about Trump and then get mad at me when people start yelling at you. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that sometimes you got to stir the pot a little bit in order to get that engagement. For example, last night I was feeling a little frustrated after I got off a call about someone who gave me every excuse in the book about why they couldn't possibly afford something. And I thought to myself, how many times do I get on a call and get hit with a million excuses of why they can't afford coaching or a class or something like that? So I wrote a whole post about nobody has time for your excuses. I'm debunking all of your garbage. And that's not the nicest thing. People are not going to read that and feel warm and fuzzy and positive. They're going to feel a little called out. But at the same time, I checked this morning, that's my post that's had the most reach in the past 2 weeks.
Number 5.
Number 5, you lack credibility or confidence. You'll like this one. If you are just posting workouts and you have no real background in education, you got a 1-day certification and now you're a personal trainer, you have never run a business before but you're a business coach, you may be able to sort of fake confidence for a little bit, but at the end of the day, when you go to bed at night, you don't really know what you're talking about, and it becomes apparent to the people who follow you when you either lack credibility and actually have no idea what you're talking about, or your fake confidence starts to fade because anytime someone in the caption says, hey, isn't this exercise supposed to be done this way? You're like, oh crap, yeah, it is. So lacking that credibility and confidence is a huge thing.
Paige Hathaway, she just did a post
yeah.
yesterday, and it was destroyed by Lane Norton. And he has a PhD in nutrition, he's a bodybuilder, and he is an educated individual. And one of his things is to just debunk and call out people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. And she had a client who she posted on her page that gained like 10 pounds of muscle in a couple weeks, and Lane just ripped into it. One of the guys on my board of education, Dr. Jolla, I always screw up his name, Jolla, but I say it fast. If you don't know someone's name, say it fast. Starts you with, and he's a professor at Coastal Carolina, and he did a 8-week bikini study, scientific study. This isn't just, hey, I trained a couple girls. This is in a gym, and they tracked all the data, scientific study that was published in, I believe, the Journal of Strength and Conditioning. Don't quote me on that. And it showed that the elite, not the beginners, they only put on like 3 or 4 pounds. And so the fact that she's stating that they did 2 to 3 times more than this professional, it shows that it's 100% false. Mm-hmm. And so people will make up information for likes, for clicks, to buy more of the product. But I always ask people in class, especially, we get a lot of girls that come through that are influencers, and I challenge them and say, well, where are you going to be in 5-10 years? Because looks fade. And if you don't have education, you're going to get called out and you're going to be blasted.
Quick refresher on the 5 reasons your Instagram won't grow. You're not leveling up your content. You're not genuinely engaging with both your internal and external network. You don't have a clear message or direction. You're avoiding polarizing or potentially controversial content, and you lack credibility and confidence.
Hopefully you guys like this. Actually, I know you did. Follow us. I don't know why I'm pointing back there, but follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and we'd love to hear some of your comments.